Before we jump into obstacles, let's do a quick recap to make sure you're on the right track with your movie, okay? At this point, you should have an idea that's unique that you can execute on with the resources you have available to you. 2, a hero with a flaw and a goal, someone we can empathize with. 3, a theme. And then 4, an antagonist. Josh Whedon says this. He says, you take people, put them on a journey, you give them peril, you find out who they really are. And that makes sense, right? Our hero, your hero, cannot have a smooth sail if they're going to change. And we already know the antagonist is there for the peril role, right? Well, another tool, another plot level tool that you have at your disposal are obstacles. Obstacles are part of plot, so that means they're first and foremost, right, entertainment, but then they also can serve the theme and help the audience experience theme because they are used to push our hero kicking and screaming down their journey of change. Obstacles can be small or large, and they create major and minor turning points in your story. Turning points in a movie, they can happen when our heroes got to make a tough decision to change course, to alter their plans. Obstacles can create these turning points, by pressuring our hero, forcing them to change. And they can be standalone events, or they can be caused by the antagonist. Obstacles can be small or they can be huge. And based on that, it often determines whether they create minor or major turning points in your story. Let's look at Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back. In that film, the Millennium Falcon was the fastest ship in the galaxy, but to Han Solo's dismay, it had a problem making the jump to hyperdrive. Sometimes it just wouldn't happen, right? And this was a small obstacle that caused other minor turning points in the story. It also caused suspense and comic relief for the audience, which hits the entertainment factor, right? This obstacle wasn't caused by the antagonist. It was just an old ship. Now let's look at Star Wars again, but A New Hope. There was a major obstacle in this that caused a major turning point. If you remember when Luke came back to the farm and he found his aunt and uncle killed by stormtroopers, murdered, burning. It was horrible. Well, before that, if you'll recall, he had just told Obi-Wan no. He said, I can't go on this journey with you. Luke felt obligated to go back to the farm. But then when he went back and faced this obstacle of his aunt and uncle's murder, he makes the decision to go with Obi-Wan. And that decision was a major turning point that changed the rest of his life, changed the future of the galaxy. I mean, in fact, that one turning point made Hasbro millions of dollars. So you get it. And also notice that major obstacle was caused by the antagonist, whereas the old ship thing was just a standalone event. So do you see how important obstacles are? They pressure your hero, they change the story. They're there first and foremost to entertain, but then they serve the theme and they can help the audience experience theme. Obstacles are also unfair. If you're not familiar with Murphy's Law, it basically says whatever bad can happen will. It's a very cynical outlook on life, but it's an amazing tool for your storytelling. When your hero is on their mission and moving towards their goals, they cannot get lucky. The original Jurassic Park is a great example of Murphy's Law at work. So, in the storm, the power goes out, right? That's a general obstacle. It happens to everyone. We've all experienced that. But the power going out right in front of the T-Rex exhibit, that is Murphy's Law at its finest. I mean, think about it. If we were there in those SUVs and the power happens to go out right outside the T-Rex cage, we would be like, are you kidding me? So this is a great example of using obstacles, using Murphy's Law to put our hero or heroes in situations where they have to make decisions and change. So this is exactly what you want to do in your film. Murphy's Law might affect your heroes and pressure them, but it sure doesn't affect your bad guys, typically. I first discovered this watching The Next 3 Days, an amazing film. It's written and directed by Oscar award-winning writer Paul Haggis. So watch that if you haven't seen it. But in that film, I realized that our hero cannot get lucky. Think about it. If something works, if something's lucky for the hero, the audience immediately calls foul. That is not life. That is not normal. They don't like it. But if you help your antagonist get lucky and they score a lucky break, the audience is like, oh, come on, that's not fair. And that's exactly the emotions you want to take your audience through. And it's also the path that you need to take your hero and your bad guys through. Because remember, the hero is on a journey of change. The bad guys are not on a journey of change. So them getting lucky not only pressures your hero, but helps them persist in their own journey of destruction. So keep that in mind whenever you need to pressure your hero. Make your bad guys lucky, and definitely don't make your heroes lucky. Action step. So is this making sense? Do you see how powerful the whole obstacles tool is for your storytelling? Now, I want you to take one of your favorite films and watch at least the first 35 minutes. And there's a reason for that, I'll tell you later. And then, see how many obstacles you can identify, see how they hit the entertainment factor, and then see if any of them were deeper than that. See if they created major or minor turning points in your movie. Again, remember, plot is first and foremost about entertainment, and sometimes it is just that. So sometimes an obstacle might just be for the entertainment factor, but often they are deeper and they're serving the theme, and they're also helping the audience experience theme. So have fun with that, and then I will see you in the next lesson soon.